Hey Sophie, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Just getting things set up a little bit. Not really going to be doing much gameplay today. It was just going to be a general discussion on some of the things that we did right and wrong with the speed challenge that Lyft set up. That way, for the people who are interested in trying to do the challenge on their own, they'll have a little bit more information to go into, basically learning from my mistakes kind of thing. Thought it'd be nice to go back and just take a more critical look at what I did right, what I did wrong, the usual stuff. So, alright, so we're going to turn that one off. We're going to turn that one off. Okay. There you go. We'll bring it up. We still have another minute or two before we get into it. So if anybody has any questions or things that they would like to see addressed in here, let me know. Basically, what we're going to be doing is I have two saves. One set up where we're just outside the Masperon drone base, and the other one just outside of the Omicron drone base. And these are set up on the same seed that we're using for the challenge. So it'll also give you an idea where the bases are. Basically, anything you can use to get a little bit more of an advantage in the speed challenge for those who are interested. So, like I said, it's going to be a little bit more interactive than the streams usually are. So if you do have questions, feel free to kick them out and let me know. So I'm turning off most of my chat spam. Including things like the welcome message. So the only thing that should be coming up in chat spam is when somebody asks about the speedrun details. I have a small macro that'll run. Basically, it'll be like this, which have all the rules for the speedrun. So, Metaldim, have I completed the challenge? No, I actually failed the challenge. We ran into some bad luck and mostly bad planning on my part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, look at what I've done, and see what we can do differently for the next one. Oh, Sophie, I'm sorry to hear that she has cancer. I actually had my stepfather pass away, I don't know, about 8 years ago. Wow, actually it's been longer than that. It's been 12 years now. Holy crap. So... it's never easy when your family or friends go through stuff like that. So my best wishes to her. Hopefully it is recoverable. So, all right. So it looks like we are pretty much there for the time. So let's go ahead and jump in here. We're going to start with the Omicron drone base because this is the first one you're going to have to defeat. So what I wanted to do... Yeah, probably older than I feel. I'm not sure. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are in survival mode, so we are going to jump over into God mode. That way we don't end up running into getting killed by everything. Alright, so the first drone base you're going to run into. This is the Omicron drone base. What do blueprints really do? Just bypass the block placement? Yeah, basically, let's get down in here so we're not being shot by everything. So, what blueprints in the factory allow you to do is you can build things like what I have is I have one that's specifically for the speedrun. Right, so we have the speedrun CV. As you can see, it allows you to unlock level 10. All you have to do is gather the resources that are required here that you see. Once you've gathered them, you basically, we'll go over to the factory here, you drop your resources in. Once you have all of the resources are green here, you hit start production and it'll give you a time. This particular CV takes just under 12 minutes. And what it allows you to do is you don't even have to have the blocks unlocked. You just have to meet the unlock requirement. So it does allow you to bypass things that you would normally have to do. But you can also turn off the gating requirements in the command console. There's a command to turn off the skill tree. I don't use it just because it's me, but some people do, some people don't. For the sake of the challenge, blueprints are legitimate. Turning off the skill tree is not. So keep that in mind if you're serious about doing the challenge. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to get in here really quick. I'm going to show you where we are. So when you're basically when you're in here trying to, you know what? Let's turn on the item menu, and we're going to let's grab ourselves a personal weapon here that we can use to destroy. We're going to use that, and this is now using the PL charge, right? That's the PL charge cannon, yeah. And this way we can basically not have these things continuously shooting at us. This is the nice thing about being in God mode, we can do this stuff. I'm sorry to hear that, Sophie. It's never, like I said, it's never easy or fun to have people, you know, suffering from anything. Can we cut down on some of the stuff shooting at us here? Can I still shoot at it from down here? Nope. They have fixed it so you can't shoot through the train anymore. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can destroy this thing. Wow, that thing took a beating. You go away. Just trying to get enough of this stuff cleared out of here. So I was trying to get in earlier to get this all cleared out so you wouldn't have to deal with this, but one thing about this weapon is that it only holds a couple of shots. So okay, that is not supposed to be kicking off. Why is that kicking off? Sheesh. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of here. Come on. I should just spawn in a base and some artillery. Really? Come here, buddy. There we go. Okay, so now that we have a little bit of quiet over here, it would be nice, Sophie. It'd be very nice. Alright. So obviously you would not do this in an actual challenge. We're just trying to clear the base out a little bit. Because what I want to show you is exactly how you target the core, where you need to be aiming when you are trying to get to the core as quickly as possible. It would be really nice. I want to be able to delete these things in survival mode. When we go into God mode, we should be able to turn things on and off, you know? Okay. So, where you're actually going to be aiming is on the opposing side from where the troop transport is. You're going to count over to the second window. And this right here, that block that they're standing on, that is directly above the core. Now, if you basically punch your way through here, all the way down, as you can see, you're going to have to hit through like 6 or 7 layers. You'll eventually get down to the core. So if you're using something like railguns, if you've gotten that to that level as quickly as possible, or you get lucky and find them in the loot, or you're just using explosives like the missile launcher like I did, basically it'll take, I don't know, maybe 2-3 reloads of weapons of your rocket launchers to get down there. So this is definitely one of the spots you want to look at when you're trying to get through here. It's going to be the fastest way to clear the base. Basically, you just take out the turrets on either side, get yourself in here, and just start firing down on it. Okay? So that's how you get through the Omicron base as quickly as possible. Once again, you just fire straight down, And you're going to kill things on the way through as well, and you will eventually take out the core. But like I said, for the rocket launcher, for the vehicle-mounted rocket launcher, I think it took about 3 reloads to make it all the way through that. So my first suggestion would be is to get to the rocket launcher as quickly as possible. In survival mode, that's going to put you SV. Well, that's only going to be like level 7, I think, if that. Level 10 to get to the rocket launcher. So in order to get to level 10 as quickly as possible, there's a couple of different things you can do. Railgun range versus turrets. The railguns actually will fire outside of the range of the turrets. Unlike the artillery for the CVs on bases, what will happen is, we're going to go ahead and duck down here for a second. What will happen is that if you have railguns, the railguns have a slight range on them over the weapon turrets here. These turrets will fire at you at about 348 or so, 300 meters, depending on if you're on Omicron or Masperon. On Masperon, you can get a little bit closer, but as you can see, like right here around that 180 mark, see if we can back up here a little bit. 200. And so at about 225, the bases will continue to shoot at you. Let's see here. So they were reloading. I want to say it's like 280, I think, is about where they stop firing. No, they're still firing at 280. 290. $330. I'm not used to them firing this far out. They don't usually continue to fire over here. Let's break line of sight. And I'm wondering if it's because the rocket drones are shooting at me. Nope. Okay. So when you get into that 460 area, 470, yeah, like around 470, it looks like they will start shooting. I'm guessing the drones are acting as a forward scout type thing, which is kind of annoying because they don't use, like I said, the turrets don't usually fire this far out. Can you dig to the core from below? Yes, you can actually. It is a bit of a dig. Can I? No. We can't turn on that, but we can do this. Where are our... those? So what you're going to end up doing is, if you're going to try and dig in from below, you're going to be digging down a bit, because you're talking, let's see, if you're here, we're what, 2 blocks down, right? So we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 blocks. Yeah, so basically you're digging down about 14 blocks, or you can just dig under, and if you're digging completely under, you're committing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so you're coming in 8 blocks and down at least 14. So, and then from this side, because it's going to be here. So from here, you're talking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're talking 7 blocks over, 14 blocks down, 8 blocks in, and that'll get you directly to the core. So. And then, like I said, I always use the troop transport as my basis for where do I need to be. Let's go ahead and do, do a little bit of this so we can see. There we go. And we're going to duck down here while they're shooting at us. So yeah, that'll give you where you need to go for the core. Let's come down here so you can see it one more time. So here is going to be right there. Yep. Okay, so that gives you the core for Omicron, right? 8 in from the outer wall, 14 down from the top, 7 in from the wall on the southeast corner. So if you've got your mining vehicle, you would be able to do this. So it would actually be fairly easy with a mining rig, especially where this setup is. Let's see what we've got on the map here, because this one is basically here in the middle of a somewhat of a crater that, you know, they obviously placed here. So you would end up having to take out at least 2, maybe 3 of the turrets. But if you start it far enough back with a good mining vehicle, you would be able, you would be able to get in here and basically mine in if you had to. Explosive mining. You could use explosive mining. It would be extremely expensive, and the problem with doing explosive mining, let's get into the weapons really quick, is the level is only level 5 for it. So you could do it, but it would be really expensive. And for the same effort and parts, you know, you're talking almost what you need for the rocket launcher components for your vehicle. In fact, let's go hover vessel. There's our rocket launcher. So the drill's level 10, rocket launcher is level 10 for the rocket launcher turret. So it would be 6 of one, half dozen of the other, probably. My thing is that, like I said, with what I did, let's go to the blueprints really quick. And then I have, where did we put it? Where did our little ship go? There we go. There it is. I have this one, which unlocks at level 7. So by the time you have something like this built, and you put a rocket launcher on it at level 10, it's probably going to be just as fast and just as easy. It's actually probably going to be easier than trying to mine in to get to the core underneath. Because while you're out harvesting the resources to make the weapon, or to make the ammo for the weapons, you'll be gaining XP as well. Yeah. Hey, Bloodbane, how you doing, buddy? So I do think that the best way to go would be to just get someplace set up that you can get into, a base that you can use, and then to go ahead and just start mining up all of the magnesium and iron that you can find. Get the easy XP. If you have the time and resources, maybe do an HV just to get some exploration. But I think that would probably be about the easiest way to deal with the base. It's just rocket launcher. Now, I would not recommend using the homing missiles if you get to that point, simply because you can't target them. They tend to target something inside the... I think they try to target the core, but I've seen them go after like the turrets and stuff as well. So, just got off. Hey, right on. Well, sorry to hear it was a rough week, but at least you get to relax now, right? Okay, so now that we're not being shot at continuously, okay, well, maybe we are. We're gonna hide out over here. Let's go back this way a little bit. Yep, see, the base is already shooting at me. It's really sad that I know when the bases are shooting at me without ever having to actually get there. Okay, so we should be mostly clear at this point. We're going to turn God mode off. Turn God mode back on. Okay, so that's Omicron. Pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot to it. Like I said, my recommendation is to go through the top down using a rocket launcher. That I think it took me like 5 minutes to clear it that way, where I was actually building my supplies up, like my my ammo and the tools and everything that I'd need prior to getting over there. So while I was actually gaining the levels to get to the point where I could use the rocket launcher, I was also processing the resources that I would need and creating getting everything set up. So it was very quick to craft at that point. But that would be Omicron. Any more questions about this planet before we move on? For the folks who are curious, because the resource nodes, this is the official speedrun challenge seed. You can see where some of your resources are going to be. If you find the Omicron trading station, you know you're going to have a couple of the POI, the civilian POIs right here. You'll be able to loot those very quickly for parts. You have a bunch of iron to either side of it. You do have the copper and magnesium over here. The magnesium is in such a situation, the position that it's in, is that it is between two bases, but it's actually out of line of sight of both bases, so you can get in there and just mine the hell out of it. So that will give you the resources you need. Like I said, if you clear that out, or clear a majority of that out, there is also some magnesium over here, but again, it's over by a couple of waypoints. But there are 6 nodes on the planet, and I don't think I actually found all of them. If you're really wanting to take a trip, but you'll be the safest, the magnesium deposit over here. There are a couple of POIs over here as well. I think there's another base up here and something over here. But this is probably the safest magnesium to mine out. So just mine out the magnesium, mine out the iron, drop it in for processing, and by the time you're done with that, you should be close to level 10. All right. So let's go ahead and jump out of here. We're going to go into the drone base for Empyrion. Actually, let me see. Do I want to do that one, or do we want to go... yeah, we'll do this one. I was thinking about loading up my my save game, but I don't think I'm actually on Empyrion anymore. I think I'm in at Aqua now. So, okay. So for this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go into God mode. We are going to go over here. Okay. Now, for the Xeno Fortress, this is a really rough base. I went through this manually in my Let's Play, and what I did is after I figured out where the core was, I came back through and wanted to see exactly how we could get to it the easiest. So where you're going to go for this, let's get down here inside the walls here so that everything stops shooting at us. So where you're going to go for this is right here, where this block is missing. If you follow that block straight down, you hit the core. And it's not actually that far down. It's only a few blocks down. So it is fairly easy to get to. If you are coming in from either side, you know, you're talking quite a bit of stuff to get through to get to it from the sides. So again, your best bet really is to come in through the top. Because if you can hit that one block where this guy is standing, and you just punch straight down, what is that, like 8 levels? 8 blocks to dig through? These are combat, or not combat, but reinforced steel. So they will take a little bit more damage, but once you get to that point, I mean, you're pretty quick to get through here. So let's come back over here and just show you from the aerial where we are. Sheesh. At some point it will stop shooting at us. Okay, let's get out of the mess of that. So if you see it here, let's back up a little. Let's grab, oh, I didn't turn the item menu on. Let's turn the item menu on really quick. We're going to grab the sniper. Okay, so the block you are aiming for is right here. Again, using the drop ship that's here, because it is a placeholder item, using that as reference, you're going to come around to this side of the base and aim for that block. You put enough fire into that block going down, and you will eventually hit the core. So that's how you can speed run these if you're trying to take out just the core and you're not worried about the collateral damage to the loot, because you will hit a couple of loot boxes on the way through. And I think there's a couple of pieces of equipment in there as well in near proximity. So anything you're using, like railguns, minigun, or railguns, rocket launchers, or even artillery, if you bring an HV, will run the risk of destroying any loot that you may be trying. But since it's a speed run, you're not really worried about the loot. But that is the one block right there you need to worry about. Okay. Now, I do recommend once you get to, or by the time you get to the point of Empyrion, you probably already have a ship capable of taking some of these turrets out. Can I actually... Let's see here. Where's my ship? That one? No. There we go. It won't let me spawn it. But yeah, so basically that is the one block you need to worry about. So any other questions on that? Because I had a couple of people asking, you know, how was I targeting the core, or how did I know where the core was, and or how to find the core. So I wanted to share that with everybody because I was, you know, I figured that if anyone's interested in doing their own speedrun challenge, this would be a benefit to you. Again, this is also on the same seed, so you can get an idea of where some of the resources are. Lots of Promethean. There's some silicon over here. This magnesium is actually really easy to get to. There's a lot of iron on this planet as well. Nuke it from orbit. Yes, exactly. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that Empyrion does have a slightly heavier gravity and thicker atmosphere than Omicron or Aqua. So as you can see, my epic sniper on Aqua has a range of something like 300 meters. Here, it has an effective range of 231. That does apply to your vehicle weapons as well, so do keep that in mind. But again, if you're using the rocket launcher, it's not generally an issue because as you can see, we're 293 meters away. The rocket launcher, the railguns actually can hit at like 311, I think, here on the SV. So if you have progressed to the point where you have the railguns, you can destroy every one of these turrets and they will never fire at you. If you haven't progressed to that level, then you're going to need a crap ton of missiles to use with the missile launcher. But again, the missile launcher, even on this planet, has an effective range of about 300 meters, I believe. So, but yeah, that should be pretty much the gist of it. If anyone has any questions or wants some help with their speed runs, let me know. If you're interested in the CV or SV that I built specifically for the challenge, you are more than welcome to use them. I will put it up on the Steam Workshop for you. Just let me know if you're interested. But I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you learned at least something new today, even if it's just where that bloody core is, because that core is annoying. That block right there. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. So thanks for stopping in for the bonus. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will be glad to help as much as I can. On that, I'm out of here. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Have a fantastic weekend, and hope to see you back here this evening for our actual live stream, not just the bonus. Anyway, take care, all. As always, be safe out there. Plasma drone. Hello, Mr. Plasma drone.